I'm David Hollis, and I love to read. Since I was a very young child, I used to love grabbing books and reading them just to merely open up my imagination and go places where I couldn't currently go. Many of the times where I was reading, it was raining or there was something else going on where I wasn't allowed to go outside and interact. So I learned to love reading at a very young age, and with that I started reading books that were recommended by the librarians. And one of the awards given out each year is from the American Library Association is the Caldecott Medal, which is usually given to the one book each year voted on by a committee to be the most distinguished book as far as a picture book each year. Many of the books that have come through that were picture books that have won, like Where the Wild Things Are books that we've all read at some point in time and found very visually pleasing, and it has helped unlock that imagination that so many people seem to forget that we have. Where the Wild Things Are, it won back in the 60s, and it's shown to be a Caldecott winner by the gold medal over in the lower left-hand corner. Now, one of the books that I chose to read outside of Where the Wild Things Are was one of this year's 2014 nominees, which is called Flora and the Flamingo. Now, I chose Flora and the Flamingo because I have two young daughters who love to read, and they love looking at things that are very visually pleasing. Flora and the Flamingo is about a small child that has trouble fitting in with other people, and ironically enough, she finds a way to find herself as well as find a friend by running into this flamingo. Now, the book never names the flamingo, which leaves it open to interpretation for yourself, of course. You can name the flamingo what you want. Now, the author, Molly Idle, who made Flora and the Flamingo, didn't put words in her book. She let her pictures do the speaking, which is probably one of the reasons why it was up for a nomination for a Caldecott Award. Now, you would say, how is it a book without, reading? Well, it's exactly that. It's a book that you read and you pretty much place value in the pictures, and you open the story up yourself. One of the great things about the book is it is a picture book, and the picture book does open up with little flaps that help you tell the story. You start with one little image of the flamingo, and you drop to the next image of the flamingo where she notices little Flora. Now, little Flora, of course, noticing the flamingo, then turns her head, "Wow, you don't really see me." And as the book goes on and the pages are turned, you get to open your imagination to seeing how they become friends and how they start so different, and how in the end, they become what they become. And that's up for you to determine as the reader. And I think that's part of the fun of books that people seem to forget, is that you are reading something. And in many books, they've been turned into movies, like Where the Wild Things Are has turned into a movie. Who knows, someday we could see a very short film named Flora and the Flamingo, and maybe your images as you read the book will be what comes true in the movie. I like reading books. I like going to my imaginary places in my head, and I hope you do too. Please read Flora and the Flamingo, one of the honorable nominees from last year's Caldecott Medal.